Atlanta. This young man that grew up outside of Philadelphia, went up to school in Boston, and now will be headed to learn how to speak with a slight Southern drawl.
I think, Boo, for Arthur Blank, turn the page. It's a new era now of Atlanta Falcon football with Matt Ryan at the helm. You're talking about a kid who carried a football team that did not have great receivers, a great offensive line, or great running backs. Matt Ryan, you talk about his size, 6'4 3/4, about 220.
With the 6th pick in the 2011 NFL Draft, the Atlanta Falcons select Julio Jones, wide receiver, Alabama.
So Julio Jones coming to the stage. This breaks the hearts of some Rams fans that hope that he possibly could drop to them down all the way to 14. It also leaves Blaine Gabbert up for grabs for the 49ers, who are now on the clock, as we all create some headspace for those developments. Tell me about Julio Jones, Mike.
Roddy White, Tony Gonzalez, Matt Ryan is ecstatic right now. What a trade they pulled off.
Michael Turner, Julio Jones, Roddy White, Tony Gonzalez, Matt Ryan. That's not a bad nucleus to move forward. We're going to take a break. When we come back.
With the first pick of the 5th round, number 137 overall, the Atlanta Falcons select Grady Jarrett, the defensive tackle from Clemson. Rise up, rise up!
All right, there you have it, Grady Jarrett, as we discussed before, big favorite of Dabo Swinney, and he would argue, too, that guy causes the kind of confusion up front that allows some of the other playmakers on that defense to make hay.
Grady Jarrett needs to play in a penetrating scheme, but when he does it, he is dynamic. He is short, but plays with great leverage, plays with great balance, and look at him chase from that nose position. He will not give a center a break at all.
What's good? How y'all doing this evening? Welcome back to the Draft Prospect Show here on Forever I Love Atlanta Sports Podcast. It's your boy, The Dunn. Here with my two co-hosts. What's good, y'all?
What's up? What's up? It's been a great day today. I can tell you that.
Oh, yes.
A great
Smooth.
day.
It's been a good day.
Smooth.
Yeah. Okay.
Zora, the intro along with the Marvel movie.
Oh, snap. That is true, though. Yeah,
Hey.
it's pretty long, though, but hey.
It is. We'll try to cut it next year. But hey, we got special guests on with us right now. We got Jake. What's good, man? Let everybody know who you are, where they can find you.
What's going on, guys? Jake here. I do some stuff on YouTube as well as these guys do here, obviously, with draft and very Packer-centric stuff, but do most of my writing over at NFLMox.com, obviously covering Green Bay there as well, and Indy, and actually the Falcons, funny enough, for this draft cycle. So it's been a good time, but yeah, I think excited for the draft to be here, nearly anyway.
Man, oof. Around this time next week, I don't know what's going to happen. We don't know. Like, only we know this fan base right here. Oh man, I'm just ready to just end it. I don't care who. I don't care. We draft a kicker at 4. Just get it done. Cause these folks have lost their doggone minds. So, thank you for joining us tonight, man. What you say, King?
It's gonna be Penny Sewell.
Hey, I'll be great. I'll be jumping up for joy for this as well. I'll be all right with picks. If they draft the quarterback, hey, it is what it is. But don't be complaining when the 2021 season starts and we out of the playoffs because we missing pieces that we should have got in the draft. So that's all I'm gonna say on that. But thank you, Dave, for joining us, man. We appreciate it.
Yeah, excited to be on here. It's a good show. These guys do great work. So
Thank you, man. We really appreciate that, man. So if you're new to the channel, y'all already know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share this content out with Atlanta Sports Fanatics, and hit us up in the comment section. As always, come holler at your hometown sports podcast. All right, let's go ahead and talk about Rashawn Slater. This is our last breakdown player for the draft. I think this is a guy that we should target if we decide to move back in the draft. We trade our fourth pick away with somebody. TJ, take it away, man. Talk about his strengths, man.
Rashawn Slater's strengths. Well, he's 6'4", 304 pounds with a 10.5-inch hand. He's from Northwestern. His strength, his frame is compact and muscular with good lean mass. He's a starter since his freshman season and played both tackle spots. Confident in claiming his turf and heads-up battles. Possesses excellent core strength and contact balance. Big paws can snatch into the opponent's frame. Runs with choppy feet through his run blocks. Smooth lateral flow coming up the ball. Fluid as a move blocker and has a good feel for second-level angles. Reads and assignments are fast and effective in space. Trusts his feet in pass sets and rarely lunges. Stiff punch and strong outside hand discourages edge rushers. Quick response to inside shots. Has all kinds of recovery athleticism. For him, in my eyes, I watched him for a while. He's fast. Like he's smaller than me to play tackle. I've said that a couple of times. Like, everybody's saying he's lean. He's not that tall compared. I mean, Penny's 6'5" or 6'6", and then Darisaw is like 6'6". So I mean, those are taller guys. 6'4", 6'3" is short at guard height. But I like him at tackle because he's fast. That's really why I like him at tackle. Jake, this is you can talk about him.
yeah, I mean, I think that you hit a lot of important things, especially I think the second level angles and just how he diagnoses what's in front of him. Just really good at reading the field, reading where he needs to be, gets to his spot incredibly well. When it comes to either holding the edge or, like you talk about, climbing the second level. I mean, really with him, it is the versatility that I like a lot. Obviously, you said it, a little bit smaller player, but if you're a team that, maybe has an elder statesman at tackle and you're like, you feel confident in that, to move him inside to start with and have that ability to come in and we talked about hand placement's incredible. I think the guy latches on super well. So if you play him at guard to start with, obviously Atlanta, that maybe that's something they do if they trade back and they take him, is start him at left guard, maybe move him over to right tackle eventually. But there's not much to say about him in the negative portion, really, because of how just strong he is, how balanced he is. And his football IQ and his ability to really thrive in probably any scheme at the next level.
All right, what about the weaknesses?
Going into his weaknesses, some teams might see him as an inside player only because of arm length. Allows some separation at the punch point due to lack of length. Needs to play with better knee bend in space. Slightly inconsistencies maintaining his inside hand and pass pro. Hands ride a little too high on down blocks, causing him to lose some power. Has issues getting pad level low in short yardage situations. Those still aren't really bad. I mean, those are weaknesses that you can work on, especially when he gets to the second level. Especially when he gets to this level, really. That's not really playing O-line. That's not bad. You would want maybe, like I said, that's why I say he plays guard. I see him playing guard in the NFL because of his arm length and him being smaller. That's really why I say he plays guard at this point.
What you think about the weakness, Jake?
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the weaknesses, I think, It's a good point where I think when you look at the weaknesses with him, it's a lot of nitpicking because obviously no prospect is perfect. So you want to find little things with him that he can improve on. I think the biggest thing obviously is going to be that arm length. It's going to be his ability to hold the point of attack and he does well extending his hands, extending his arms and keeping control. I think ultimately what it's going to come down to with him is when he holds the point of attack against edge rushers, when he loses that length battle, there are times where you see him kind of reach a little bit forward, and that's where he gets off balance and you'll see him on the ground. Other than that, I think really the weaknesses are kind of few and far between when it comes to Slater, and I think that's why really he is a top 10 player in this class.
Okay. All right. So, what player in the NFL right now can you talk him to, like his comparison to?
I think the biggest one that comes to mind, at least, is a player like, I think a good one, and I think a lot of people, I've heard a couple people mention this, is actually Taylor Moton. And maybe it's not as big of one, but I think when you look at him for the Panthers, he moved around a lot in his time in college, and he's played multiple spots for the Panthers. So, yeah, I mean, again, I'm not the biggest with the comps because I think everybody's their own guy, and it's always. I think when you start with comps, everybody's like, you give one, and people are like, oh, he's going to be that good, or oh, he's going to be this bad. So, like, I think if I had to say one, I think Moton's one that comes to mind immediately. But I mean, that's really where I'm at with comps. I'll be honest.
All right. Well, from the tape I looked at, all right, and I'm a huge Michigan fan, by the way. So I don't like Northwestern, but from Slater, what I saw in him, he reminds me of a Steve Hutchinson.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all remember Steve Hutchinson.
Oh, yeah.
He played for the Vikings. He played for the Seahawks. So that's how I come in with. But, that's just me.
Didn't, Steve Hutchins have, a holding problem?
He's a good player.
Yeah, he's
a great player.
Yeah, I put him in the top 20 of offensive tackles of all time. He's a Hall of Famer.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Not arguing with you there. I was just talking about weaknesses because you can be nitpicky. So
yeah,
I was nitpicky.
The thing I like about his tape is that if you watch the Chase Young game, I would advise people to watch that Chase Young game. He was a dog. I mean, Chase didn't get, but I don't think Chase got a sack that night. I think he might have gotten one, and it was because they think he flipped field. He's not. He's a dog. He's able, because everybody knows Chase Young likes to attack low when he gets his shoulder down. He was able to just hold Chase where he was at. He was able to get back, especially pass pro, and just set back and just hold his own with Chase Young. Who was he, top 5 last year? Top 5 pick. And he won't go as high as Chase, even though he's at that almost, he beat him at, but if anything, I don't know. You can't deny his talent. He's the second best tackle in this draft. And that's just fact. There's nobody. You maybe can say Darisaw, but there's no way you put Darisaw before Rashawn Slater in my eyes.
You know who we got to play this year too, right? We got to play Chase Young this year.
Yeah.
So if the Falcons do draft Slater, I would love to see that matchup again. That's sad. So
it might be a little different this time. You never know.
Yeah.
So I mean, you saying Chase Young has a year in the NFL? He's been I still don't think. I still think he has better footwork. His wait for Chase Young. You give him that year of NFL experience. Rashawn's footwork is just crazy. Him and Penny, they're neck and neck. If you look at their way they can move around, it's kind of it's scary. Like I've been saying this whole time, this year is so rich in O-line. You can't, it's not really a bad pick at O-line this year, no matter where you go. Even second round guys, I feel like, are good. So for those two guys, I don't really like to compare them because you don't know their outcome in the end. But just to go back and forth, they're just crazy. They're two. My only weakness for Rashawn is that his height and his arm length. It's because he's small. That's the only thing. He's just he's you gonna want to move him. You want him to move faster. That's the only thing I got on him. That's the only bad part I see in his game because he's a dog of a player.
Okay, oh Lord, here go these other fans. Falcons get swept this season, but like when the last time did y'all hold on. When the last time did y'all sweep us? Like I would like to know. It's been a while. Okay.
They might be drafting a quarterback too. Like, who is their quarterback?
Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold.
Yeah, we saw that. But I think that was all the jet. I think that was I'll give Sam Darnold his respect because I was giving him praise on Twitter. I think that was all the jet. So I give Sam Darnold his credit. I ain't gonna do him like that. I like Sam Darnold. I do like Sam Darnold.
Anyway, okay. So he played 3 years at Northwestern. Tell us about the time, he played there, like his freshman year, sophomore, and then junior year.
Who at me?
Jake, yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think you start him out at right tackle. I think obviously a Northwestern program, you see a lot of Big Ten teams do this where they have these elite guys come in and they, a factory like Iowa even does it. Wirfs obviously came in and played right tackle and kind of stuck there for a while. A lot of these Big Ten teams don't maybe move you around as much, but obviously eventually Slater impresses enough after 2 years there to move over to the left. And I mean, it's a seamless transition for him. And that's something else that's going for him. And you don't see a lot of tackles. I mean, more these days than not, but there are some tackles who don't transition well. Even David Bakhtiari has talked about, like, if he was ever asked to switch to right, he said it would be a disaster. So to see a player like Slater be able to switch from right to left so seamlessly is another reason why, teams should value him and why, he's going to be a top pick in this draft.
Yeah. So you said start him at right tackle. So right now we have Caleb McGarry.
That's true.
All right. So do you think if we playing musical chairs right now with the linemen, with the Falcons, if we put him at right tackle, what's going to happen with Caleb McGarry?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you guys think. If you put him at right tackle, maybe he slots in better at guard to start with. And then, if you're looking at McGarry long term and you're not liking it, then he moves out there for the long term, or he moves to left tackle for the long term. I think even ultimately, I think he can play all 5 positions. I think there's that potential with him. I think he's that smart of a player. I think he's that technically sound of a player. And I know it's probably not as popular, but I've definitely heard like the big guys in the industry talk about, and I think they did this with Jonah Williams as well, is talk about, you probably play him at center too if you need to. And I think that's what makes his stock so interesting, because I think a lot of people view Sewell as, you're sticking about their tackle, you're leaving him out there. Like, I don't think anybody's drafting him to be a guard. But with Slater, if you feel like you want to put best 5 out there in some sense, that he can kind of go anywhere you want him to be. Almost like maybe, Elton Jenkins of sorts, but obviously has more experience at tackle and that type of version, but that rare versatility.
So, yeah. So the only spot right now, if we talking about McGarry, to move him to will probably be left guard.
Right.
Like I would not move Lidstrom from right guard. I just wouldn't, especially you putting a rookie right there by him, and then you got Hennessy who's going to be starting the starting center. It'd just be a disaster to me. So
yeah, I think left guard makes a lot of sense. I think you keep continuity where you can, and like you said, I think that's what's good about him though as well is you place him where you need him, but again, you get an injury somewhere. I think you feel confident enough about him to move him where he can be more effective for you, which is a really good thing for him.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead,
About McGarry, you don't move Lidstrom at all, because Lidstrom is good at right guard right now. He's shown he can play right guard at the professional level. You got Hennessy, which is this. Hennessy is probably the most, most uneasy person you have on the O line because you don't know how he's going to play in his first year starting. Then you have Jake, of course, is going to play left. You have McGarry. I think McGarry is going to if we do draft Slaughter, I think we do put him at guard. But if you want to put McGarry at left guard, I can see it happening too because he's played O line. I can see those two sitting right there, which I would think I would rather probably have than having a rookie beside Hennessy. But Slater has is good enough where I can think he can still play right there.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, going back to Slater. Now, his lack of length will lead some teams to view him as a guard, like we just said. But his footwork and talent outside may be worth allowing him to prove it as a tackle first. So that goes back to what we've been saying, having him play that right tackle role. And, I'm not ready to give up on McGarry at right tackle yet. But if you look at the talent level, I think Slater is far more of a better right tackle than McGarry. What's your thoughts on that? What's your thoughts on that, Jake?
Yeah, I think going back to the McGarry pick, which, it was probably more of a surprise than anything to move up for a guy like that. But, you can go back to the Chase Young game as well and talk about that and what he does at tackle. And you see Young try to win in that half-man scenario, and you watch Slater be effective with his footwork and be effective with that outside arm to secure him, and he doesn't get around the edge. And that's just stuff that, you just don't really – you can teach it. But, man, when you have it naturally in college against, again, one of the better pass rushers – that we've seen in previous drafts, it should at least lead you to believe that this dude should have no problem at tackle. Like we talked about it a little bit, the length, obviously, in the run game, I think especially gives you a little bit of pause because of the balance. But against pass rushers, how good he is with his hands, I don't think is as much of a concern. And the whole movement of stop moving good tackles to guard obviously exists out there. But with Slater, I think he falls in that category because of, just Ohio State tape in general, I think is enough to prove it to you.
All right.
That. He's a tackle. He's a tackle. He's a small tackle, but he's a tackle. He's gonna play. He's gonna play tackle on the big stage. I would love to see him at guard because of what he can do in a run block and what his power is and strength. But he's a tackle. His footwork is learned tackle. Playing you can switch it sometimes, but he's learned tackle. Probably since he might have played guard in high school, but he got recruited to tackle, I think. So you're playing tackle. He's gonna come here. He knows how to play tackle. You would not kind of sort of want to take him away from that spot, especially getting to this level. If he hasn't played a lot of guard in college, you can play in high school, but you might not remember how to play as much. You've been playing tackle with a D1 school for years on it for 3 years now, so you've learned the technique, the secrets, all of that stuff. You learned what made you comfortable, and you having to switch to guard is you having to learn how to be comfortable again. And you have to learn your moveset there. So he'll play tackle somewhere. If he goes to the team, they want to move him to guard. I feel like he's flexible enough to do it, but his comfortability spot and what you want him to be comfortable when he first gets here is at tackle.
Yeah. When you were speaking about McGarry, don't you think just a little bit of more time will help McGarry?
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just in agreement. I think it makes sense. It's a first round player. You don't want to necessarily give up too early, obviously, because I know we all expect, like a lot of fans do in general, expect first round picks to be, this immediately great player at the position where guys Devontae Parker is obviously the most recent one of guys, and Corey Davis probably as well, the guys that broke out later and need that time. So if the Falcons do draft Slater, I think you would think left guard if they're confident enough in McGarry and you want to see him develop more. But
I think it's the coaching staff that we had here in Atlanta. We had Chris Morgan. I just think he was just horrible at developing offensive linemen. Like I use Wes Schweitzer for a good example. We had him here in Atlanta, and he, below average. He played pretty much left guard, right guard. I think he has a snap at center too. I believe when Alex Mack went down for a couple for I guess game or whatnot. But he could have been better. But when you saw him go to Washington last season, he played better, and that's because of coaching. So I feel like with the new offensive line coach we got here, Lutford from Louisville, and then you have Arthur Smith, who is a offensive line minded coach. I think our line should play better.
I think it's definitely not hard to assume that'll be the case. I think Arthur Smith is going to give you a lot more in terms of offense in general for sure. So I think like you said, I think there's no really wrong answer with where to play Slater. If you draft him, and you're comfortable with what you have Lindstrom, McGarry on one side, and you want to make, and maybe Smith is thinking that, and he's thinking the right way of you talked about it. Having the rookie be surrounded on both sides by more seasoned veterans at their position in Jake Matthews, and you have the two younger guys in the middle, but you feel comfortable on the edge because of the experience.
Yeah.
I don't know about our tackle. I mean, we already know we already know Jake is going to be at left. The right tackle, of course, is going to be McGarry. But I know we said we don't want to move Lindstrom, but for y'all, if McGarry struggles and we think Lindstrom can move to that tackle spot, what do y'all think? Do you think we put him at that tackle spot?
I think Lindstrom would be fine at that tackle spot. I really just don't want to move McGarry out just yet. I have a lot of faith in McGarry.
Yeah, I just want to see what coaching can do. Like, let's see how the coaching plays out. Let's see how it plays out this year. He could play better. We don't know.
Yeah, so that's my thing, especially with Arthur Smith. As we always say, being an O-line and a tight end guy, like finally somebody in there that know what they're doing at coaching. Because like we always say, again, he survived 4 coaching changes, so he got to know something. He got to know something. So that's how I feel about it.
This combination of strength, athletic ability, and quick processes should make him one of the safer offensive line picks in the draft and an early starter. Like Sewell, we know what he'll bring to the table, but the thing is with Slater, you have more film on Slater. That's one thing, and I think that's why some people mocked him before Sewell because of the film, and they know that it's a safe pick. You know what you're getting out of it. So, what's your thoughts on that, Jake?
Yeah, I think you hear guys like Jeremiah and them talk about the potential that Slater's higher than Sewell for some teams, and maybe and I think you see with Sewell, you see the mover in the run game and the athleticism in this ball of clay, who's obviously really well developed for his young age, but maybe it's because of his pass protection skills that really put Slater over the top as one of the safer picks, because I think you could. I know. They're probably pretty close in terms of prospects. I think they are. I think if you're looking at them solely as pass protectors, I think Slater has a serious argument, truthfully, as potentially the better pass protector in general. I just think what he did, the clinic he put up against Young and what he did really all that season, you talk about hands, you talk about balance, you talk about being able to recover. I think that's potentially why teams could say that. And you hear him being one of the quote unquote safer picks.
I agree with you there. I wouldn't even say it's an argument. I'll just say that Slater's just the overall better pass protector than Sewell. No discredit to Sewell, but it's just he's just better at that particular thing than him. But I do think Sewell has everything else better. But when it comes to pass pro, yeah, if you're getting him just to pass protect, then yeah, I'm taking Slater, no doubt.
I would say his smaller frame helps him in pass pro. Him being able to move. I mean, you would think you want a longer guy, but that kick step is you got to be quick. That smaller frame he has, he can quick step at a speed that is crazy. And he always has that arm up. I mean, he can get it. He doesn't lunge, which is a really good thing. He never lunges. If you lunge, you always get swim. He never lunges. He always is straight back, which helps people coming to him. He doesn't have to he doesn't have to be aggressive. So when you have people coming to you, you have a way where you can move them any way you want to, which I like about him. Now, Sewell is a very aggressive player. He gets very emotional while he plays, you can tell. So that's why you might see him lunge more in pass pro. That's why might see people get around the edge on him. It's because he likes to be aggressive. And it was a video about him on they let it work out. And it's trying to say he plays with a lot of high emotion. Which you like sometimes and you don't like because that makes him get more amped up. And
yeah,
so when
I was about to say, you know who else playing with high emotion? Tag
McKinley?
Who? Who is that? What team is he on?
I think
he worked out with the Browns. Did he work out?
It's possible.
Wasn't he in Oakland?
Man, I don't even think he's gonna laugh. No, he's in Cleveland. I don't even think he's gonna laugh in Cleveland because they got Clowney and Garrett. Like, where they gonna fit him?
Yeah.
On the bench where we need to fit him.
I was on the bench probably. He probably had bench role. But that emotional thing is it's good. I mean, for Sewell, he's a tackle. He could be aggressive. I like seeing him mad. He's throwing people across the field. I don't like that in pass protection. That's what I don't like. Is where he's getting burnt because he wants to lunge and he's getting swimmed.
Who you talking about? Sewell? He's getting
Matador getting pulled to the ground. Stuff like you just don't like to see stuff like that out of a tackle. I'm fine with a guard doing it, but a tackle, it's okay.
Yeah. All right. Also, now Big Ten coaches named him the third team all conference after started all 14 games at right tackle in 2018. Then they awarded Slater honorable mention notice for his work in 11 starts at left tackle as a junior. Now he opted out of the 2020 season. So, but like I said, he played more games than Sewell. So for him to have that honor, especially the Big Ten, because a lot of people don't understand, Big Ten, that's the conference that you get your trench players from. Am I lying?
You know what?
No.
Think of the Bosa brothers, the tackles, and Chase Young from Ohio State. And you think of Michigan, for years, pulling out offensive linemen. Iowa doing the same thing as well. Now you got Northwestern, pulling out, a first round pick like Slater. So, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, the Big Ten, there's no arguments here. I mean, last year, I think there was a good number of people who thought Wirfs was the best tackle in the class.
He was.
And I think after one season, it seems pretty clear. I mean, even he played right tackle in Tampa, but I think he very clearly moved him over to the future. I mean, he's outstanding. Yeah, I get it. Khalil Mack beat him once, whatever. But Cam Jordan, you never heard from him when those two teams played. Really, that's Wirfs. And so, yeah, when you talk about the Big Ten in general, I mean, edge rushers there when you're playing, especially again like Iowa, and you're playing Ohio State and Michigan, who consistently churn out these edge rushers, especially, so that the experience, if you start for 3 seasons and you're an effective player at tackle, especially, I mean, there's a reason that guys like Slater and Wirfs and Balaga and all these guys who've come out of the Big Ten are prepared and look the part of a quality starter.
Yeah.
The Big Ten I feel like the Big Ten is really an O-line. It hasn't seemed like they really are O-line kind of sort of base type of schools because they're all big. Like you look at Big Ten O-lines, they're all just everybody's just huge and it's crazy.
Because ain't no big dudes trying to play down south. It's too hot. We want to play up north.
We got one. I think Georgia's never had like an old lineman. We had our first real like northern old lineman, and he was from New York. That's the one that went to the Giants last year. He's from New York. Yeah, that was the first one we've had that was like from up north because you don't get a lot of those guys because they like to be up. They like the home. They like being closer to home, and they like the cold. We don't. You know, down here it's hot. We melt cleats out here, so. It's different.
So, Jake, if you was a Falcons GM, all right, right now we sitting at 4.
Okay.
Well, I'm asking this question to everybody. I'm tired. This you the last person I think.
All right.
So thank you. Oh,
we're almost there.
Yes. So if you the Falcons and you had that 4th pick, what would you do? Who will you draft at 4? Do you trade out of that spot or what?
I think I'd probably like to potentially trade out of the spot. I mean, it's hard not to just sit there and take Pitts or Sewell. I mean, it's really hard not to just to take one of those guys. But if there's something I like moving back, then I consider it. And obviously, you can pick up a guy like Slater. You know, if you feel like you want to double dip at corner for 2 years in a row and go with your Surtain or Horn, those are options. I think with Atlanta, what's really nice is, you know, obviously a lot of fans are going to be talking about, you know, oh, we need a running back early. Like, why?
You can get a running back day 2, day 3.
Get a running back anytime. Like, there's a chance Trey Sermon's going to be a day 3 player. Why not at that point do that? Like, I get it. Everybody's like, oh yeah, Najee Harris, he's good. There's no doubt. It's not questioning whether or not he's good, but I think it's either Pitts or Sewell at 4. You move back for a guy like Slater or Horn or Surtain. I don't think I'm really looking anywhere else, honestly.
I say Parsons is another guy that you can
potentially. It's true. I think the linebacker class actually deeper than people are going to give it credit for this year too. That's something else. I think if you're Atlanta and you're sitting there and you're like, you know, we like a guy like Browning who's versatile. We like a guy like Werner who's incredible in coverage. Or, you know, you want to get a guy like Zaven Collins who can get downhill and get after it. There are a lot of options. So, Parsons is a great player, no doubt. But I think there's a lot of – even Jamin Davis from Kentucky, who's got a lot of steam the past, you know, couple weeks now. There's a lot of guys at linebacker. So, yeah, I think Parsons is certainly in play. But I think, you know, when you have a chance to get a top corner or, you know, get a top offensive lineman, if you really want to max out this line for these next big 2 years, then you do so. Okay. Or you want to stop Evans and Godwin and get a guy like Surtain or Horn to play opposite Terrell.
Yeah. Stop who?
Evans and Godwin. They could. I mean,
we just need a pass. We need a pass rush.
They want.
We started. He ain't got slant boys. He's never really had a. I will say something. I don't think we've. I mean, maybe Mike Evans has had a huge game versus us. But I've never seen one of like these big time receivers have a big game versus us because it's something about our rivalries, especially with Tampa and the Saints. Because I don't know, it's something crazy. Like they never had good. AJ is really. I want a QB. I want a quarterback to help AJ, but I feel like there's a guy in that second round if we really need it.
Yeah, you got plenty of guys in that second round that you can get. But you need a pass rush though. Like AJ and all those guys, they can't cover all day.
Yeah. Get Tom Brady on the ground. It's a wrap. Win the game. New York Giants.
It's a shame that there's not better interior rushers in this draft because that's really where you want to get after Tom.
We really don't need an interior rusher. Like we really just need a big guy next to Grady Jarrett.
Yeah, eat up some blocks.
Exactly. That's all you need. Grady Jarrett 1-on-1 against any guard in the league. That's please.
Dominate. Baby Aaron Donald.
So
I think let's think about Dante Fowler. You give Dante Fowler a 1-on-1. I feel like he can.
I have no
He
faith
can
in
get.
Hey,
One-on-one Dante Fowler, I think he's a better dog.
a
He got
healthy
when he's the
Dante
only
Fowler,
one.
if he's healthy.
Prove me
Yeah, if
wrong,
he's
man.
healthy, he's the only one that's known for our look last year. Our pass rush really we had Grady Jarrett and we had Dante Fowler. And we barely had Dante Fowler because he was hurt. Act was definitely not coming
And
off
we
that
had Steven Means and we had Tui Marinara. That was it.
Yeah. So you need another you don't have a pass rush with that. If you give Dante Fowler one-on-one, look what he did with Aaron Donald. You put them on the same side. Who you gonna guard? You can't. I'm just saying. You give him a one-on-one with a tackle. He's faster than a tackle. You have to have a fast guy to get back stop him.
Give me 4 sacks before week 10. We'll have we can talk a little bit.
That'll happen. I think that'll happen. He got that bonus. He got that bonus, man. He want that money. He want that money.
I'm glad you said that because we're gonna see how bad he want his money this year.
Yeah, we gonna see.
All right. So Jake, you didn't mention Trey Lance, Justin Fields at 4. Why?
Hey, Matt, what's wrong with Matt Ryan right now? I don't think there's anything wrong with Matt Ryan right now. And you have, the rhythm he's built with Julio and Calvin Ridley. Why mess around with that and get a guy? And this is coming. It's perfect that you're asking me about this because watching the Packers select Jordan Love last year, it's not going to make an impact, right? If you want to make something happen, you want a guy who can come make an impact this year. I don't think you're going for a Justin Fields, Trey Lance. I think they're both spectacular, really. But if you want somebody who's going to make an impact this year, then you're not selecting either one of them, as talented as they are.
Yeah, because they be sitting on the bench.
Yeah, it's like I get it; they're learning, whatever. But truthfully, this is a roster that few holes away from being competitive. I don't think there's any reason to do something with that where you're like, oh yeah, let's sacrifice. And if they move back, something like, and they go Slater, or maybe they like a top pass rusher or whatever, and they decide, oh yeah, let's do that. Let's go get a quarterback instead and not, help out the defense at all, or, get another weapon like Pitts to help out Matt Ryan. Why? It's just way better options than taking a quarterback.
But Matt Ryan didn't score enough points last year. That's why they said that in that game that we played against Dallas, we lost the game 39-40. Matt Ryan should have scored 42. Matt Ryan should have scored 50 points.
Or he should have played defense and got some tackles.
Yeah, he should have played defense.
Yeah.
You are a Green Bay fan.
Matt Ryan can't run. Matt Ryan can't run. He can't escape pressure though.
He can't escape pressure. So I have a question because Aaron Rodgers was known mobile for a while. Not mobile, but he could get away.
Yeah.
So last year, we're going to talk about when y'all went for the field goal instead of going for the touchdown. What did you think Aaron Rodgers should have ran on that?
I don't think he would have made it in.
Yeah, I agree. He would have.
I don't think he would have made it in. So I think he's trying to make a play there and throw it to the end zone. I think if you have Lamar, it's a touchdown, no doubt. Yeah. But Rodgers is upper 30s. I don't even think probably in his 20s he even gets there. So, but yeah, kicking the field goal is interesting.
But if he runs right and he gets close, doesn't that change his decision to go for it?
One would think so, but I had a feeling I think they were kicking the whole way.
Yeah. Okay, I got you.
Because I think they're hoping for one stop. A stop that they had gotten a decent amount of them. They created turnovers, they had gotten stops in that game, but didn't do it. Didn't get it done. So
I had so much faith, y'all.
So
much faith. I just wanted Brady to lose. I was like, please let Green Bay win.
You and me both. You and me both.
This was supposed to be the year of my Aaron Rodgers jersey.
Oh.
The worst part is it was at home.
Yeah.
Hadn't had one at home yet with Rodgers, and not closing the deal at home hurts even more, than getting the score ran up on you by San Francisco last year and basically just Julio Jones 4 years before. So
I like the Julio Jones one though.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
I'm sure he enjoyed that game feasting on Ladarius Gunter. So he'll look back on that one. He'll look back on that one his whole career and love that. So
that game was fun because Matt scored a touchdown on that game. It was just like, okay, this is gonna be our game. That's when I felt like it was our game. When Matt ran in that touchdown, I was like, okay, yeah, it's over.
But you know what though? It's funny though. Vic ain't never had a rushing touchdown as a foul in the playoffs. In the playoffs, he never had a rushing touchdown in the playoffs when he was with the Falcons, but Matt Ryan does.
Wow.
That game was a payback for 2010. I understand. That's all it was. Payback for 2010. That's all.
That one against the Vikings, that was in the playoffs?
No, that was a regular season game. We didn't play no Vikings in the playoffs. Huh?
Playoff atmosphere.
It was playoff atmosphere, but that was like in overtime.
Overtime, yeah.
Yeah. That was our Super Bowl that year though. Shoot.
I'm gonna be honest. I was like 3 or 4. I've just watched highlights. I didn't get to watch that live. I was somewhere watching Mickey Mouse or something at that point. I don't know.
It's just the fan base, man. Jake in Atlanta. Folks just still not over Vic. Most people still haven't got over number 7, and this is why. Ever since Matt Ryan came here, they want to go back to getting a guy like Fields or Trey Lance. Like, I kid you not, last week I went to the barbershop. All right. And you know, most of them people in there don't know nothing about football. They just run their mouth. So this is what happened. I kid you not. Because that day I wore a Falcon shirt. And so he's talking about, man, y'all got a big day coming up. Y'all ready to draft y'all future quarterback? I'm like, here we go. I'm like, yeah.
He was wearing the Falcons t-shirt. That's what
the
mistake was, I guess.
I said, why do you think we need a quarterback? Talking about, man, y'all just need some more excitement, man. Like, man, y'all was almost there with Vic. Y'all had Vic. Y'all got Matt Ryan. Y'all been trash. I'm like, we was in the Super Bowl with Matt Ryan. Like, Vic ain't never got us to no dog on Super Bowl.
Won an MVP. Won an MVP.
Yeah. But this is the funny thing. This is the funny thing. This man literally, I think he had an orgasm on himself when he said this. All right? This man said, would it be so nice if the Falcons draft Justin Fields and when they fly him into Atlanta, like Mike Vick come out of the back and on him with the number 7 jersey? I'm like, see, this is why.
Oh, see, that's just so much extra. I will say this. I was born. I'm gonna say this. I was born the same year.
He said Mike Vick is gonna pass the torch to Justin Fields. So we just gonna pretend the past 14 years, Matt Ryan literally gave us a third of our franchise history wins. We just gonna completely ignore that.
Yeah. At this point,
I guess.
01. Let's say this. 01 was when Vic was drafted. I was a baby. So 07 when we drafted Vic, right? I mean, drafted Matt is when that's the funny part about this. I only remember Matt Ryan. That's the crazy part about this. I only remember Matt Ryan as my quarterback. So when people talk about Michael Vick, I'm like, okay, yeah, Michael Vick was cool. I watch his highlights. So I asked my mom, she's a Giants fan. I said, so what makes Matt Ryan? I said, what makes Michael Vick better than Matt Ryan? Because she's a Vick fan. I was like, what makes Michael Vick better than Matt Ryan? She's like, he can run. I said, huh? She's like, yeah, he can run. I said, so that made him. I was like, so I said, we was in the Super Bowl with Matt Ryan. She was like, he just made the city better. I said, I mean, I can say you maybe say culture wise, it was like cool to have a black quarterback, but if anything, it wasn't like a big thing. I mean, he didn't really do anything football wise. Like it's the football stuff is what people don't get. I think that the street scene and what it was to have Michael Vick in Atlanta and have that black quarterback that can run all that. That's what made it cool. But football wise, he was special, but he wasn't like he's gonna take you all the way to the Super Bowl. Like he got us close. He got us to what? The NFC divisional round one time. I don't think he's ever gotten us to. He never got us close to Super Bowl.
No, not close to the Super Bowl.
No, so we've been to the Super Bowl with Matt Ryan, and people don't respect him, and it's weird.
I think if they had won that Super Bowl, that it would be different, or do you still think that?
I do think it would be different.
No. They would have never look. If you won that Super Bowl, they would have never gave Matt Ryan his flowers. They would have said, "Oh, Julio won."
Julio. They would have said Julio won that Super Bowl.
Listen, that catch that Julio made, and if we would have kicked the field goal, they was, "Oh man, Julio helped win that Super Bowl."
You're right. I think the delusional ones would have, but I think more so of like the media and the actual real fans would have started.
Of course.
Okay.
No, okay, yes.
I figured, yeah, I would say that. Okay.
Yeah.
But not the ones that
the media don't give us. We talking about fans, like certain fans here in Atlanta.
We can't.
We weren't gonna get
the delusional ones.
Vic will not. Vic has a grip on people it's really, really weird. He has a grip on Atlanta. Like people are like, it's like he's cursed Atlanta. The people think like there's people mad at Arthur Blank to this day that we didn't pick him up when he got out of jail. There are actual people that don't like Arthur Blank because we were you were supposed to sign Mike Vick as soon as he got out. Why? What were we gonna do with that? We had Matt Ryan established here.
We went to the playoffs his rookie year. And we got beat by the potential NFC champs, the Cardinals, but still, like.
And his first pass was a touchdown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It gets no better than that. It gets no better than your first NFL pass being a touchdown.
That's true.
I don't know, man.
It's just a grip. Like I said, it's just a hold. It's a hold on I will say, like, we know Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan has been I'm 19. That's only 5 years. I was 5 when we drafted Matt. So when I started really watching football, Matt Ryan was the quarterback. I've always known Matt Ryan, MR2, has just been the guy. I'm just like, I've been a Matt Ryan. Like I have a Matt Ryan jersey. Like I had a Vic jersey because of my mom, but I wanted a Matt Ryan jersey. Like there's a difference between like Noah and Julio. The same thing with Julio. Now when they leave, I'm gonna be sad because that's my duo. That's my duo my whole life. So that's kind of sort of like you being a Green Bay fan. You know how when Favre left, like it's gonna be that it's gonna.
Some people still hold on to that. Trust me.
But yeah, here's the thing though.
They still hold on to that.
It's different. It's different with Green Bay. You got Brett Favre, who's the Hall of Fame quarterback, won the Super Bowl, won MVPs, and then you got the same thing with Aaron Rodgers. They pretty much on the same pedestal. They both did something for the franchise.
Yeah.
Versus you got Vic. Yeah, he was exciting. Yeah, he was a culture icon here in Atlanta. But that's about it. Like we went to the playoffs a couple of times with him. That's it. Yeah, he owns the record in rushing yards for a quarterback. But okay, you look at Matt Ryan, offensive rookie of the year, offensive player of the year, NFL MVP, all pro, like broken so many records. Like I don't know. I just really don't get it.
I will say I've heard somebody say we should have drafted Lamar that year. Don't ask me why. Somebody said you guys should have drafted Lamar that year. I was like, why? What was Lamar going to do?
Look at Lamar right now. Yes, Lamar, he's playing well with Baltimore, but let's be real with Baltimore. Baltimore got a good defense. You take that defense away from Baltimore and you give Lamar Jackson our defense and you see how he played.
Give him
They literally went up to Buffalo to kick the field goal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Give him all line. And he threw a pick six. And he threw a pick six.
He did.
Yeah.
He did.
So he got his first win versus Tennessee, which was cool, but like it's like Lamar hype is weird to me because he hasn't really done anything in the playoffs. He's taken them to the playoffs, but he always loses. Like he's not he's never. Who did he lose to Deshaun? No, who did he lose to? He lost to Clemson one year. He doesn't do well on the big stage. Let's just be honest. When he has a big time game, he does. It seems like he doesn't do well.
That sounds like somebody. That sounds like somebody that we used to know here in Atlanta.
That's crazy. So much hate, Don. So much hate.
We get so I don't hate Vic. I don't hate Vic, but it's just to the point that people. It's like it's cult mentality. It's cult mentality that anytime you bring up like let's look at the thing that happened today. Matt Ryan, he was playing with his kids in the living room. You know, everybody. Oh, so I heard somebody say, "Oh, Vic family is better." I'm like, okay. This is the thing. They always got it. They always anytime Matt Ryan, anytime there's something going with Matt Ryan, they got to make it about Vic.
Was it like that? So for you, Jake, was it like that when Favre left and Aaron Rodgers was your quarterback? Was it kind of sort of like that?
Yeah, I mean, I know at least I think my family was even divided on it. Very much so. I think a lot of people were still want to hold on to Favre and even rooted for him as a Viking to beat the Packers with Rodgers because they wanted to prove a point. Which was interesting.
A great family day.
That was interesting. The year that obviously the Vikings with Favre were better than Green Bay. The year they went to the NFC Championship game, so a lot of people were in the "I told you so" camp. But
they should have won.
It only took a year. It only took a year for that to be squashed. So when Rodgers held up a Lombardi, so I think that helped a lot of things, obviously. Yeah. With the transition, if he still didn't have one, oh man, I don't even want to know.
I don't want to know. But right now, like just be real. Right now, like it's y'all won that Super Bowl. It's just like the same thing with Breeze. Breeze won that Super Bowl and haven't done anything since. So like,
yeah, I wouldn't say anything since. He is leading the whole NFL in yards, like.
Well, we talking about Super Championship, man. We're not talking about light records.
Okay, I was about to say, hold on.
Like the same thing. Like you know how the Saints fans, they always brag about, oh man, we won a ring. Okay, y'all won a ring in 09. Sit down.
That's what I said about my mom when she's talking about the Giants. We got 6 rings. When is the last time y'all won one?
They ain't got no 6. They got 4. They got 4.
They got 4. Is it 4 or is it 5? It's something
it's
like
4.
4 or 5.
It's 4. They won. Look. They won one in the 80s. They won one against Norwood's wide left.
Yeah.
They won one. They won 2 times against the Patriots.
Eli.
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So she'll be like, "Yeah, we got 4 rings." I was like, "Y'all haven't won one since Eli." Like, and Eli was still there, and she was bragging. I'm like, Eli has fallen off. Like they haven't had a.
It wasn't even about Eli. They won because of their defense.
Front 4.
Yeah.
Twice.
Eli
won because of their defense.
Front 4 was unreal.
Eli made 2 good passes his whole career, and they helped him win a Super Bowl.
Exactly. Just like with Tampa Bay this year, Tom Brady. I'm like, y'all won because y'all defense. Let's be real.
You're not about to do that either. No, that's not true. They defense helped a lot.
Bro, they defense
won that championship.
That defense won the championship.
Won that championship.
I would agree, but Tom Brady still played a part in that offense. That offense was not as good as it was.
He was serviceable enough to get them over the hump. He won Jameis Winston. Of course, he was going to be better than Jameis Winston. And not only that, they got him a running game. Mm-hmm. They brought in Leonard Fournette. They brought in Gronk and AB. And they drafted the best tackle in the draft that year. So they upgraded their offense. They upgraded their offense already. He already came in a good situation with a top 5 defense, and you had a good coaching staff.
You're absolutely right about all that. But Eli sucked his whole career.
He beat Tom though. I mean, you can say the defense, but he beat Tom.
If you look at every Super Bowl that Tom Brady has won. Every Super Bowl, listen. If you look at every Super Bowl that Tom Brady has won, their defense has always been better than their offense. I kid you not.
That's
he's right.
The only year their offense was good and it was lethal was the year they lost against the Giants in 2007.
That's fine because we know defense wins championships, but the offense played major parts in their big wins. It took their offense to beat us. What you mean? They had to go out there and score points, man.
No,
So,
we beat ourselves because the coaching staff. We didn't want to make adjustments. That's what it was.
Still got to throw the ball, make the plays, and still got to do the quarterback stuff. So we're not going to put Tom Brady on.
You got to think, and of course, their offense, and let's be real, of course, their offense was going to look good. They went up against a 27th ranked defense.
Yeah.
I understand all that, but we're not about to take away from Tom Brady like he not.
We're not. I'm not taking away from him.
But I am going to take away because to win Super Bowls, you got to have a complete team. You can't just go out there and do it on your own.
You're absolutely right. But he's still one of the greats.
Just like let's look at Green Bay when they won in 2010. How y'all defense was that year? Jake?
Really good.
Exactly.
Woodson, Nick Collins, Sam Shields in the second. I mean, they were loaded. That was a loaded football team.
Aaron Rodgers did not do that all by himself. Matter of fact, their offense was better. Their offense was better in 2011 than 2010, and they didn't go back. In 2011, they went to the playoffs and got beat by the Giants.
Yep.
So let me ask you this, Jake. Could y'all have did that with Eli?
Which one? The 2010?
Super Bowl.
2010?
Yep. No.
I don't know. I think there's a real chance they lose to Chicago.
Okay, then. So there we go.
I think there's a chance.
But still, that defense, that Packers defense in 2010 was good. Look, everybody, we had the first seed in the playoffs that year. What Green Bay do? They came in Atlanta, shut all that down.
I understand that, Don. I understand defense wins championships and all that, and it takes a complete team. But you're not about to sit here and tell me that Eli Manning is on the same level as Tom Brady.
No, who said that? You put words in my mouth now. I never said that Eli was on the same level as Tom Brady. Oh, I'm telling y'all
I
this.
just want to ask the people in the room. Am I tripping?
No.
But have I ever said that Eli was on the same page as Tom Brady?
Did he not imply that?
No, I did not apply that. You applied that. You assumed that. I never said that Eli was on the same level as Tom Brady.
All right.
All thing I said was their defense helped them win championships. That's it. Just like I can make the same argument with Nick, doggone. What's the dude? What's the quarterback name for the Ravens back in
Dilfer.
Dilfer. I can make the same argument with Trent Dilfer.
Oh, you should have said
that defense. Brad Johnson for the doggone Buccaneers when they won their first Super Bowl.
Yeah. You should have said Joe Flacco.
Him too.
Yeah,
the defense.
Yeah, I was like,
come on now. We can say Nick Foles too.
Joe Flacco.
Too.
There you go. Joe Flacco's on Eli's level. There you go.
I ain't trying to put levels. We talking about defense. If just put like this here, if the Falcons can get an average defense, we're gonna be better than what we was.
Oh, definitely. Just the defense in general, we be good. We have the graphic said, the last 3 years we have been the worst defense and one of the worst defenses in the league. What do you think that doesn't help Matt Ryan at all? Like we go score. Look, we scored 39 versus Dallas. And we still lost by 40. We still lost. They scored 40 points on us. You can't stop that. Like,
it really does.
Are you guys team Pitts or team trade back, help the defense as much as possible?
I'm team no quarterback. That's what I am.
Okay.
I don't care what you
just in general. Okay.
All right. Just in general.
Fair enough.
I'll be fine. I'll be fine without we can get whoever. Like I'm fine with them.
Okay.
I'm team trade back or get Sewell. That's my only two options.
Okay.
After we trade back, I know it won't be a quarterback, so I'm good with it.
Yeah, I want to trade back but if anything, like I was saying before, if Justin Fields doesn't go 3, I see us taking Justin Fields just off of pure taking a quarterback. But I'd rather have either. I'm fine with Pitts. I'm actually really cool with Pitts. I'm cool with Pitts, but I want Penny. That's my thing. I want Penny, but I'm cool with Pitts. And we take Pitts.
We need Sewell, but I feel like with if they're looking at a situation with Julio and Calvin Ridley and Hurts contracts and stuff, they'll probably go Pitts. You need another playmaker for Matt Ryan to throw the ball to.
Yeah.
You really don't need it, but that's more of a want than need.
The stress on defenses would be astronomical.
But
with
this
those
year
three,
in general,
those
with
three
Hayden
would be a
Hurst,
problem.
Yeah, but think about even this year with the 4 we have. If we keep Hayden Hurst, I mean, we're going to keep Hayden Hurst anyway. But just think of like this year with Hayden Hurst, Calvin. If we take Pitts and then Julio, who you going to guard? Like there's that safeties and having to have you can't blitz. You really can't blitz because
that would be a nightmare. No, you can't.
Yeah,
you cannot blitz a team like that. No way. They're going to be playing quarters over the top because they know.
Yeah, really anything. Safeties are small. If anything, if we go anywhere near the 20, you got Julio and Pitts just sitting there, just jump balls to the Lord. I want Pitts to just catch a jump ball on. Well, Lattimore ain't gonna play this year, is he? Isn't he still in jail? Is Lattimore still in jail?
I don't know. Maybe he should go buy a holster or something for a gun.
Maybe he should go put his guns up in a safe or something.
I don't know what's going on with him. Like, if you buy a gun from a store, like,
it's legal.
What's the extra $100 to get a holster? I just don't understand it. Maybe it's
maybe being in jail. Did he bite off one of his friends or something like that?
I'm pretty sure he did. That's why he didn't have a holster.
Like he bought off the street. It just doesn't make sense.
Zora. They trade back. I would like to see them trade back with the Patriots. Trade back with the Patriots. We be at 15. I think the Patriots are perfect. No quarterback, so pick whoever's there.
Surtain. If anything, Surtain or Monty. What's his name from TCU? I cannot say his name right.
I think it's Merrick, or that's what I've heard.
We just did a show on him. Can't say it.
It's Morrig or Merrick. I've heard both of those. I don't know, but I think obviously if Denver's over Drew Lock, then that's the trade back potentially that a lot of people talk about, of course, but who knows there.
But why? Why would you be over Drew Lock? That's my thing. He's only been in the league, 2-3 years now? At this point,
the same thing with Josh Rosen.
Kyler Murray.
That makes no sense. Like you give up.
Doesn't have to, but hey, if you want to move back and they want to come up,
if anything, we want definite quarterback. We want definite quarterback. I want Drew Lock in that trade. If you're gonna draft the quarterback, give us Drew Lock in that trade.
Yeah, I'll be down with that. Have him sit behind Matt Ryan.
He was getting compared to Matt Ryan in college. That's why I would really want him. Like he's a great decision maker. If you really give him time, look what he did. He almost brought them back versus us when we played them. Like he's a great quarterback. That's why I don't get why you would really want to mess with him at this point.
They don't have the people there to develop him. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Yep. That's often what it is with young quarterbacks. It seems.
Yeah, pretty much.
Situation means everything.
Next week we'll be doing our draft show a little different. We'll be live. Come on, Don. We'll be live for the draft.
Trying to help you, man.
I know. Thank you, bro. We'll be live for the draft. So if you're a fan of a particular team, let us know. We'll let you come on the show, watch the draft with us, tell us how good of a pick, how dumb your GM is, how much you hate your team for picking whoever they pick. We like all that. Or you can tell them how great the pick is and how much you love your GM if you're like a Patriots fan or something, because they just seem to just keep doing it and keep doing it. So come join us next week. Let us know. You can email the FILA account, or you can find us on Twitter at FILAS_SP, or message us in the comment section with your team and your email address, so we can contact you, or your Twitter account, whatever, however we need to get in contact with you to send you the link to join the show.
All right. Guys, and make sure if y'all wanted that, hit them up. I probably won't be around because I'm doing my own spiritual stuff that night. I'll make sure we do everything in our power so everything go right that night. What do y'all think about David Mills, quarterback from Stanford? I think he'd be good.
Somebody said that coach said he could be the next Drew Lock, even though he's only played one season. He said that's the best talent wise he's seen since Drew Lock.
All right.
I mean, not Drew Lock, Andrew Luck.
Yeah, look. No,
Wow.
That right there. That's a huge. Just because Luck went to Stanford, okay. That's lazy.
That's what that coach said. He said
that's lazy.
He's the next rate.
He's selling because he's selling his quarterback. That's what he's doing.
Yeah,
He's selling the brand. Like that's lazy scouting. That's lazy scouting right there.
That's what Smith and Waddle did when they said they prefer Mac to Tua, right? It's just helping him out.
That was weird. That was a weird situation.
That's helping Mac out for sure.
Yeah, because I was like, they was like, yeah, we kind of sort of like Mac because he's been here with us all these years. I was like, no, don't say that. Really?
Yeah.
What's your team, Wallace?
He's a Falcons fan.
Oh, I thought. Well,
bring him on, man. Just bring him on.
Just bring him on.
I thought he was like the Saints fan or something. I said Wallace.
Not Wallace. Yeah. Anybody, Zora? We don't. Zora, are you gonna come on? Because we've been asking you like every night. I asked you last night, Zora. You didn't respond. What are you gonna do? You the only Jets fan that I know. That's pretty sad.
He's not the only one. We got Jansen, but
he ain't coming on FILA. Jansen ain't coming on FILA.
He do not want that smoke, so I ain't studying him. Anyway. All right, and I ain't even gonna be on the show that night, so that tells you everything you need to know on that. But anyway, we don't want to take up too much of your time, Jake. So, thank you. We really appreciate you coming on the show. Let everybody know who you are and where they can find you.
Yeah, so on Twitter, I'm at Jake NFL Draft. Pretty simple handle, and again, do stuff on YouTube. If you go to me on Twitter, you'll find that link. And then, writing up some stuff at NFLmocks.com for, like I said, I think the draft and obviously the Falcons part of that coverage. So that's fun. That's a nice little crossover here. So that's cool. And yeah, I'm excited for the draft to be here for sure. I think it's time. We always get to this point in the end of April where it's like, let's just get it over with and enjoy who we select.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much for coming on, man.
Appreciate it.
All right. Everybody, appreciate it. If everybody watching in live chat, appreciate y'all joining us live. If you're watching this at a later time, let us know what you think about Rashawn Slater. This is our last draft prospect show. Next week is showtime. We will be covering the draft. That night, we may do a review on Friday and Saturday after the rounds or whatever, and then we'll evaluate the picks we made that Sunday. So it's a crazy week. So get ready for it, you guys. And if you're new to the channel, y'all already know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share this content out with Atlanta Sports Fanatics, and hit us up in the comment section. As always, come holler at your hometown sports podcast. Y'all have anything else to plug?
Yeah, Kings round tomorrow. The Best Hawks post game 10 p.m. Trey's gonna be okay day to day. So that's always good. Ankle sprain, so day to day. So we got hope, y'all. It ain't no 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So we can stay in that 5th, 6th spot. So he's probably not playing tomorrow. He probably won't play this weekend. We'll probably see Trey next week.
Yeah, thankful he had his brace on when he did.
Yeah,
that's really played. We played a Buck Sunday, and then we played Philly back to back next week. So definitely need him for that stretch. We're a week away, y'all. Everybody just, Zora was talking smack.
I know Zora was
like
talking about
20. We had like 10 Knicks fans in here last night.
Go ahead, man.
Yeah, they was going crazy. But everybody, we a week away, y'all. Everybody just let's not make this week the most toxic week of all time. Please don't. Like, especially Atlanta fans, like, y'all, it's a week. Let's just make this week peaceful. Please.
No, I want to be on the ladder. I want to be the leader of toxicity. Let's go for toxic.
I want to Jeff. You want a Jeff Hardy? You want to edge Jeff Hardy spear off the top of the ladder?
I want it all. Burn the building down.
I I'm just over here just shaking my head because everybody done lost their minds already. Hey,
I'm going to toxic train. When does it start? Choo choo. Let's go.
It'll start by Saturday. But hey, wait till Sunday. Wait till Sunday, or not even Sunday. Really, wait till Monday. Oh
yeah. I can't wait till Thursday. Probably like 10 minutes before we draft. It's gonna be lovely.
God, when the clock starts. No, when the clock starts.
Oh yeah.
Yo, that's going to be.
We gonna wait and see for all that. I'm just suppressed right now. But hey, on that note, let's get it up out of here, you guys. It's the done. Here with another episode, Draft Prospects here with King, Tyrone, sidekick, Janice. Yeah, I know. All right. We out. Y'all have a great evening.
Don, did you say your cat name is Jansen?
Janice. This is my girlfriend cat. But it's my cat too. I take care of her. So. All right. Y'all be easy. Have a great evening.
Peace.